In 2003, you maybe started looking a little bit into the future at that time, having won that many world titles and seeing that, you know, it's a great run, but, you know, there's other things for Layne. You founded Aim for the Stars, and tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so in 2003, after being on tour for 16 years, oh no, 14 years, and winning 6 consecutive world titles, I was actually just literally exhausted. There was nothing left in the tank. I was running on empty. So it was time for me just to take a step back and reflect on the success that I'd created. And that's what success does, right? It breeds reflection. It presents you with an opportunity just to sit back and go, I've done pretty good, kid. I can enjoy this for a while. And at the time, I'd also had been sitting on the board of directors of the ASP, which is now the WSL. I'd been on the board for about 12 years, and I was proactive in making sure that women's surfing was generating enough publicity and financial support and sponsorship and all the things that the women's tour was required to do. And I felt that it was time to now do something more. I had been an ambassador for many charities, and I still am for about 6 or 7 other organisations back in Australia. But a friend of mine suggested I start my own charity or my own foundation, and I said, why would I do that? And he said, because no one else has. And I went, well, that's a good enough reason. I like being a female trailblazer and pioneer. I love doing things that no one else has done. So I started my own foundation, and he said, if you name it and decide what it does, we will support it financially. I went, great. So I called it Aim for the Stars, and it was about providing financial and moral support for young girls and women to invest in their future and fulfill their potential across all walks of life. Now, the reason I called this and created this was because back in the early 90s, when I was #2 in the world and working with my surf coach and striving to become a world champion, I was also working 60 hours a week in 4 different jobs. And the way that I was going was not sustainable. You know, working 60 hours a week in 4 different jobs while striving to become a world champion was incredibly challenging. And working from 6 at night till 4 in the morning in an underground bar, and then getting up at 7 a.m. to have a 1-hour surf, and then going straight to work at a surf shop from 9 till 5, and then starting work in the pizza shop from 6 to 11, delivering and making pizzas on the nights that I wasn't working in the underground bar. It was just intense, and I did that for about 2 or 3 years, and it was just unsustainable, and I wanted to quit. It was all too hard. I'd had enough. One of my employers from the old Manly boat shed, for anyone that's from down in Manly, understands that it's one of the most salubrious establishments in the world, and your feet still stick to the floor there. One of my employers at 3 o'clock in the morning sat me down after work, and he said, listen, I see how hard you're working. I see how passionate you are, and I see how close you are to achieving a goal, and I want to help you achieve it. And he said, here's the $3,000 check. Here's your next round the world air ticket. I believe in you. Now it's your turn to believe in you. And it changed my life. That check, that financial support, actually enabled me to go on and achieve my ultimate goal of becoming a world champion. So, thank you. So, I decided that if I start a foundation that provides financial support for young girls and women to prevent them from quitting, to prevent them from dealing with that same level of financial hardship and adversity that I experienced, I saw firsthand the disparity of support between men and women in surfing. I was I was a 6 times world champion, earning a third of what the 1-time men's world champion was earning. The level of support just wasn't strong enough. So I decided to create a foundation that provides that style of support, both mentoring and financially, to ensure that girls fulfill their potential. And over the last 13 years, we've provided almost $900,000 worth of grants and also mentoring support for young girls from all walks of life: music, science, business, culture, arts, academia, you name it, we support it. And it's something I'm very proud of and very grateful to be in the position to do that.
So yes, that's incredible. That's awesome. And so was it all about applying that same type of work ethic into your World Championship surfing, putting that same energy into the foundation?
The qualities or the skill sets that's required to achieve success in sport translates to every aspect of life, whether it's business or philanthropy or life in general. I mean, the 3 pillars that I can contribute my success to are: number 1, making sure I have that really clearly articulated vision, because a dream without a plan is just a wish. So once you have that vision, once you have that stake in the sand, then you've got to create the plan around it to achieve it. A lot of people, when I ask them, do you have a goal? A lot of people won't even put their hand up in the event that it may not happen. And if you don't have the conviction to support your belief or the belief behind your vision, then you won't achieve it. I can guarantee it. So if you've got the confidence or the conviction to put a stake in the sand and say, this is what I want, then that gives you the clarity of vision to ask the quality of questions that's required to achieve. You know, the quality of questions you ask determines the quality of your life. So if you don't know what you want, you can't ask for it. And so not knowing what you want, by the way, is not a clarity of vision. So putting a stake in the sand and knowing exactly what it is that you're after is the first thing you have to do. Really clear sense of vision. Second thing is making sure you surround yourself with people that support that vision. I refer to as my honesty barometers. People who bring the best out in me, people who elevate me, people like my surf coach that say, yeah, you surf like a crab and you need to forget everything you know. But here's the thing, I'm going to help you do it and I'm going to get you there faster. And then finally, making sure that you maintain a committed, determined effort towards that. So that means every day you are stepping closer to achieving your goal, not stepping further away from it. And those three things will ensure that you achieve success. Without that, you're actually, once again, slipping away from your goal because you don't have the conviction to set the stake in the sand. Aim for the stars was setting a stake in the sand. I'm all about supporting women. I'm all about empowering women. I'm all about igniting human potential. I'm all about enabling others to achieve their goals in life, because without the shoulders of the people that I stood on to achieve my goals, I wouldn't be sitting here today. We have a vocal one.
Yeah. Enthusiastic, and we do appreciate that very much, honestly.